are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddie S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddie S.
Welcome to a tragic Monday morning.
Oh my gosh.
I gotta tell you, I don't understand Facebook.
I don't either.
So I guess Slick was right and I was wrong. Because he told me if I put it on my page that I've been doing for the last, I don't know, 7 years.
Wait, rewind.
Slick was right.
Slick, you hear that? Should we do it a third time?
Why you gotta do it a third time?
Slick was right. You were...
I was wrong.
Wow.
Because apparently now, when you share it out on your page, it goes to your page. Last Friday, it didn't do that. Last Friday, I shared it out.
And it went.
And it
Yeah.
went. So, you know what?
Good morning to you,
Don't
Magic
care no more.
Man.
Don't care no more.
Good Monday morning, everyone. Welcome to the
It's just
Brooklyn,
mental. The whole
Brooklyn
thing's
Cafe
mental.
show live on WWNN. Good morning, Mr. Radio. How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing quite well. Good morning to both of you.
I hope you're doing better than Freddie seems to be doing.
It ain't funny.
Is this what it's like to wake up to in the morning?
No, I just like consistency, not inconsistency. And I guess inconsistency is the way it is right now.
Inconsistency is what's consistent.
What a pain in the butt.
How was your weekend?
My weekend is good. I went to the movies and I went to see the Rhythm Chicks.
What movie did you see?
I went to see the new one by, what's her face?
That narrows it down.
The one that Slick told me to go see.
Slick, what movie did he go see? He's not even listening to us, so I don't know what you went to see. Batman?
No, not Batman. Yeah, he went a couple of weeks ago. He left his kids, he left his nephew's stuff in the movie
Close to the
theater. I
movie
have
theater?
it. No, I went to see the new one that was released Saturday. With, what's the name with the short
Sandra
hair?
Bullock.
Yeah.
Was it good?
No,
I love Sandra Bullock.
I do too, but they were trying to act in a bad movie. That's what it looked like.
Overacting.
They were overacting, the conversations they weren't flowing.
I think she had some controversy
fell
with
asleep.
making that movie.
Did she?
So you went to the movies, and then you went to the
And it was
the
here in the
Rhythm Chicks.
movies, and then the Rhythm Chicks was right next door.
Nice. You had a whole night out.
And I'm going to tell you,
It likes a double feature. What time did you start? I'm going to so make fun of you now that you're 60.
I went to dinner at 4.
Of course you did.
I went to see the movies at 5:30,
Yeah.
and I saw the Rhythm Chicks at 8 o'clock.
And I bet the whole evening cost you $10.
The whole evening cost me $45.
Pretty impressive.
I was with dinner and
A movie and a show?
not even $35.
Wow, that's impressive.
AARP to the rescue.
Someone said that to me Thursday after my birthday. They said, so now you can do AARP. I'm like, nope, I'm going to leave that one to Freddie. It works,
you
so
can.
I could.
So I go to see the Rhythm Chicks at Coco something or another, right? So I go, I make a left, and I'm driving, and Linda's laughing. I go, why are you laughing? She says, you went right by the place. I go, no, we have to go to the country club. She says, that was the place. So I turn around, I come back, and she was right.
And it was good?
Yeah, but it's not a country club. It's right off the avenue, Atlantic Avenue.
Very nice. And that was through J&M Productions. You had
I
Jeffrey
got there
in
8
studio.
minutes late.
They let you in? They did not let you in.
Nobody there.
Really? Waited for intermission?
No, this lady came who is part of the community. She has a card.
Oh.
And she says, and I says, a good thing you're late too. She says, I know. You would never have gotten into this. But I would have called
Was it
Jeffrey.
a senior community?
I don't know, but there was 100 people in this room. 100, easily.
Wow.
It was packed.
Nice.
And the nice thing about this room is that you can bring your own booze. You can bring your own food.
Was it a homeowners community or was it a private venue?
I don't know.
Was it a restaurant?
No,
Was
it
it a
was
club?
private. It was a social
community,
club.
okay.
Of the whatever.
Of the neighborhood?
Yeah. Of the. What do I live in? What do I live in?
A country club.
Country club thing. Yeah,
Oh,
it's one
okay.
of those things. I never seen this before. So they didn't take the stage; they took the floor because they wanted to interact with the people. Not one mask was wore. Everybody was dancing in the back,
Nice.
and they were wiggling to the music. Like when we went to JC in the garage thing, it's the same, except JC was high up on the
stage. Nice.
These people were on the floor. And he got me a front row seat. I got to sit at Jeffrey's table, and they left the 2 chairs so that I had no one in front of me. And I took video, and I posted some video.
Very nice. I saw some of it. I think you're going to try to bring them in on a Friday, correct?
It's already all agreed.
Very nice.
They are going to come in 4 weeks. We're going to promote it. This guy's nuts next door. This guy has lost his mind. Now, if I go over there, by the way, this is for Will Smith.
We're going to get to that also.
Will Smith knocked out the K-Man, and this is a memory of that. Now, if I go next door and I hit this guy, am I wrong?
Yes.
I am wrong.
You don't hit somebody just because you don't like
How
what
many
they
times
do.
am I going to go next door?
We're going to go next door again.
I mean, it's louder than ever.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Huh? What'd
Huh?
you say? Well, I had a lovely weekend, as opposed to you having a cranky weekend, is all I can tell you.
Tell me about
Friday
your lovely
night,
weekend.
I went out with some friends for my birthday, and so that was lovely. And then Saturday night, I went out with my parents, and the kids came in. Aaron and Ashley came in from D.C. So got to go out for dinner with them and my parents and my sister and Leah, and everyone got along, which was shocking. I looked around and I thought, am I in an alternate universe? But apparently no, it was lovely. And then yesterday I sat poolside with the kids. They watched the Miami Hurricanes lose. Unfortunately, they lost, I guess, in March Madness. Is it a one-shot game, or do you
One
go
and out.
back?
One and out.
One and out. So I guess they're out.
They're out.
And it was a beautiful weekend in South Florida. It was like the reason you live in sunny South Florida. Here's the funny thing is, you have a complete opposite take on the weekend.
No, it was a nice weekend. I just didn't have a nice time.
But then last night, of course, everyone's talking about the awards.
Well, hold on. Before we get to the awards, I watched St. Pete play the University of Carolina, UNC. UNC is about 10 foot tall. These kids in St. Pete, who all need a haircut, by the way, they refused to cut their hair until the tournament was over, are like 5-footers. It's a small team. And you could tell they were so freaking nervous. Because a 15 has never been in the Big 8. It's the first time in the history of March Madness.
What happened to St. Peter's?
They lost.
Oh.
They lost by 20. It was 17-4 or 12-0 before they scored. But they were missing easy shots because they were so freaking nervous.
So who
That's
won?
what happened.
St.
UNC.
Pete? Oh, UNC.
They destroyed them.
But they're a well-known team.
Oh, of course. They're one of the top.
But people are now taking notice again at UM basketball, boys and girls, which is really nice to see that happening.
Yes, and then I saw the transgender swimmer who's breaking all sorts of records in the NCAA because there is no rule against he swimming with she's.
But he's not a he, he's a she.
No, he's a he.
She's a she?
No, he's a he.
No, she's a she.
Oh,
Well,
he's a he.
It's a matter of semantics. There was a
No.
whole lot on this weekend about
Time out.
this.
Yes, I saw. I've been reading about it everywhere. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with this. He's a he, she's a she, and then transgender should have their own swim, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with
You
that.
can't have your own swim and transgender.
Why? Is it fair for a woman to get? And then this guy's demolishing the woman's records. I mean, demolishing. I think that if he went against the men, he'd probably demolish them too.
There was a whole lot of controversy talking about it. I feel like if the Swimming Association agrees that this is agreeable, then that is what it should
No,
be.
they changed the rule.
After the
Now
fact?
now they're leaving it up to the school because they have gotten so much pushback.
But she came from Penn, and then she swam in Florida. So it's
They
all,
took away her golds here in Florida.
I heard they didn't. I heard just our governor decided he was not
he
going
tried.
to acknowledge it, but she still won. But then they talked about muscle mass and size, and
This guy is tremendous. This guy is an athlete. As a male, he would give male competition a hard time.
but you know what's interesting? I didn't think about it. It's not just the hormone replacement of what it is, or the strength, or the size. Because if you were swimming against a biological 6-foot tall woman, for instance, right? Her hand size would be the same, her legs, her femurs would be the same, right? Same height. They're talking about the lung capacity of a biological male versus the lung capacity of a biologically born female. That in itself for swimming you think might be different, and that is not changeable from hormones on whether it's surgery or non-surgery. The lung capacity size, that may have some impact on the swimming.
You can't pick and choose the sport. If this girl was a football player, would she compete at that level or would she get hurt in the NFL?
But if you're willing to compete, you're willing to take on the risk.
Okay, but I'm asking you, do you think that mass size, you're talking about man, these guys in football are massive and they're going to hurt her. See, you get away with it in swimming because it's a non-contact
Well, she's not
sport.
the size of a football player. Well, she's a swimmer, not a
She's
football player.
huge. She's a big
Tall.
person, tall,
tall.
muscular. And they
Muscular,
said
yeah.
because she has less muscle mass now than she had when she was.
Right, because they say now
What I
that she's
saw-
got female hormones and she's gone for the 2 years of hormone
I understand that, but
changes.
from what I saw, she demolished the swimming records. Demolished, not even close. This person, leave it at that.
Female,
This person,
yeah.
if you put them in, and you put her in to swim against men, will probably beat the men. This is what I'm saying. She's a massive person.
It's interesting. So I got to ask Slick to look that up. That they're now changing the swimming collegiate. Are now changing.
Now it's what the school has to decide.
It's up to the school on who it's competing against. Now, say,
Not competing against the rule in the school. If you go to Penn, there's a rule.
but if Penn says, okay, it's great, just for example, and University of Florida says, no, we're not accepting to compete with you if you have a transgender person on your
Then
team,
they disqualify.
then there's no. Then
They
who's
lose
to-
the tournament. They lose.
Which side loses?
Florida.
Because they're not willing to swim with the team
Because
that's
the
willing
rules,
to do
the
it.
way the rules are set up, it's not going to be allowed for you not to compete.
It's interesting. Would you want to be in politics right now? Would you want to be in that position of power of making these calls?
Dawn,
Of any call, because it seems like nothing, right? We've got what's going on in the Ukraine, you've got Russia, you've got Holocaust survivors that are being whisked away by people from Israel, right? And people are coming in and moving them around, and then you've got all of this. Would you want to be in a position of power right now?
Dawn, when we were in high school, Freddie's school won a state championship for football. And the next year, we wanted to defend our title. It was Freddie's last year. We wanted to defend it. He was a senior. And there was a girl that decided to join the team as a kicker. And because she joined the team, the league says either you're going to play all boys or you can't play and defend your title. So they gave the vote to the team, and we didn't play. We did not play. And I was really upset because I thought that we should defend the title. But then I was upset that they wouldn't let her play. Now, she wasn't a good kicker. That's the way I saw it. She couldn't kick for nothing.
Maybe she just wasn't a good kicker.
She wasn't, so I told coach to cut her. We had other kickers trying out, but then it became a political hotbed if you cut her. It's just not fair, man.
I got people writing in here saying that he is a biological male no matter what. He was a failed swimmer as a male. You think this is true? Totally unfair for this guy to swim against females. This person says, it's ridiculous. It's
It is a
obvious how
guy.
unfair this is. So this is what people are writing in right now to this.
He is a guy, but he considers himself a female, but he's a male at birth,
He was genetically born a male.
a male. So he's a guy. Now, and you don't have to put that in the bottom because I'm not the only one making controversial statements. Now, I have a question for you. We're in a club. There's a male and female bathroom. We had this discussion years ago. And where does he go? Does he go in the male bathroom or the female bathroom?
I don't know. For me, and I'm a biological woman still, I go wherever the shortest line is.
Okay, but if he went into
So
the
I will go into any bathroom.
if he went into the female bathroom, would you have a problem with it?
Not if he's.
Okay, here we go, because
A
I'm going to
female.
end up going to
Right.
the same bathroom you go. You better say what you say, because if he can go, I can go.
But now there's universal bathrooms, so
That's
it's not
not the
even
question.
a thing.
That's not the question. The question is, if he went in the bathroom, would you be upset?
No, I'm okay with it.
So if I went to the bathroom, would you be upset?
No.
If Slick went into the bathroom, would you be upset?
If you messed up all over the floor, I might be upset. No, because I don't go in the bathroom without clothes on. If I'm in a restaurant, I'm dressed, I go in, I close the door, I go to the bathroom.
So guys can go in girls' bathrooms and girls can go in guys' bathrooms.
Just close the door.
And-
For me,
Okay, then that's official. It's
but
good.
but that's just. But now they make universal bathrooms.
Yeah, I
Have you
didn't-
seen the bathroom? Remember at the iPic Theater where it kind of matches in the sink,
Yeah.
right? You both end up in the same sink area.
I designed
It's a
that.
little strange to get adjusted
I
to.
designed that in another club in Meisner, and there's a crack in the middle so you can talk to one another.
It's a little weird because women notoriously go to the bathroom and they go with their girlfriends and they talk about the guys they're with.
That's why they did it,
And
so
then
the
they
guys
fix
can
up
hear.
their makeup and you're trying to primp and lift and tuck and all the things that women do.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that around a guy.
Oh no, that's it. When we are in a public place,
So you're
I am
gonna see me
following
lift,
you
tuck,
in the women's
lipstick,
bathroom.
the whole
It makes no
thing.
difference. I'm gonna sit there with my phone and go, "How you doing?" Because
That
you
to
said
me is
it's
a little
okay.
weird.
Why?
But it's not that it's a guy, it's that I'm fixing and primping and tucking things.
You
there.
said it's okay.
It is okay.
Okay means okay.
It is. There's
So
no
I'm gonna stand there. I'm gonna do my business. I'm gonna come out and say, "This is nice."
there's no more illusions. It is just what it is.
That's right. Because you said it's okay.
No filters, no nothing. Someone was in the studio the other day and asked me for the filter on the camera. And
What
I-
filter?
Exactly what I said. And we don't have filters on our camera, so I couldn't find a filter on our camera.
I don't
but
even know what that means.
I know, and it was camera 3, but there's definitely no filter on that camera, so there was nothing I could do to filter this camera. We do not have one.
I never heard of that. What kind of filter were they looking for?
To make their complexion look softer and more colorful.
It's called makeup. Makeup.
We don't have that either.
That's
We have a
funny.
little makeup mirror in the back, which is really pretty funny, is all I can tell you. You ready to take a commercial break? When we
Yes.
come back, we have to talk about, of course, the controversy of Will Smith and Chris Rock.
We're gonna do that too?
Yeah, because you set us up here.
No, I didn't say nobody. That's Muhammad Ali. That's the greatest. Cassius
The
Clay.
greatest of all time.
all time.
It's the beauty of live TV. All right, let's take a quick commercial break. Give us a call on the radio on this last Monday of March. I cannot even believe it. 888-565-1470. Say hi to Mr. Radio live on WWNN.
Steve-O, how you doing, Steve-O? Call in and tell me what you think.
888-565-1470. And we'll be right back.
Coming to a theater near you, a new musical you won't want to miss. Mario Lanza, His Life, His Song, celebrating the life of renowned tenor and movie star Mario Lanza. Starring tenor Ian Michael as Mario Lanza with soprano Maria Kesselman. Watch these award-winning operatic singers in a sensational theatrical evening of music, laughter, and drama. With 7 shows throughout London, don't miss your chance to see this spectacular performance in person, beginning March 24th through May 15th, or catch it on the Brooklyn Cafe's live stream on April 14th. For more information and to purchase tickets, visit MarioLanzaMusical.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Hilary Taylor at drthc.net. I have my doctorate in clinical psychology and now practice as a certified life coach. At Dr. Taylor's Holistic Community, we will work together using a holistic approach to improve and maintain your wellness and take the first steps towards creating the life that you want, need, and deserve. Call me today at 1-833-552-4442 and remember drthc.net.
Welcome to Sunshine Senior Solutions, a trusted medical supply company that puts patients first, offering quality home medical equipment and supplies. Sunshine Senior Solutions is here to help simplify the lives of patients, caregivers, and their families. From canes and crutches to diabetic glucose monitors, your health, safety, and comfort is our #1 priority. Call or visit our website, Sunshine Senior Solutions, bringing the heart back to healthcare.
Oh, what a beautiful morning. I am so glad today we got an early start. Where are we headed anyway?
Who knows? wherever this glorious day takes us. And we'll take Don Pablo along too. Rich and flavorful with low acidity and notes of caramel. No matter where you're going or where you end up, Don Pablo never disappoints.
Excuse me, is that Don Pablo coffee?
Sure is.
Do you have any more?
Sure do. Then hop in.
No matter where life takes you, Don Pablo Coffee is always there to pick you up.
Coffee News is a fun, family-friendly weekly publication provided free to restaurants, coffee shops, and waiting areas for customers to enjoy. Grow your business today through the power of effective, affordable advertising. Coffee News is an active marketing medium specializing in the ongoing weekly promotion of your business. This builds awareness for your company so you become known as the leader of your industry and develop brand awareness so people think of you first when they want your services or products. Maximize your visibility and achieve outstanding results. For more information on Coffee News, contact Sunrise Coffee News at mail.com or give them a call at 954-951-7870.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
And we're back. I'll let you set up the next segment.
Ready to talk about hot topics? Because
Yes.
everyone has been waiting for 2 years to watch the Academy Awards.
And boy,
Yes,
it was a
it had been
biggie.
2 years since it had been live like it was back in the Dolby Arena, back in California, black carpet, dresses, gorgeous, diamonds, everything. And it went off. It was beautiful. Everyone had been tested for COVID, none of those issues, although I did see some backstage hands wearing masks. They were good to go. A lot of controversy going forward because they took a lot of the awards off front and center stage for things that were behind the scenes, like makeup, costumes, artistry, set design. All of those apparently happened prior to the major ceremony while we were all watching the red carpet. I didn't even really see anything that came forward. I saw one that they actually did on live, so you still don't know. And it's almost to me saying that what happens behind the scenes is not as important as what happens in front of the screen, which clearly, as we know in what we do, that is sometimes more important because it brings the ideas and everything to fruition. So even if, as Jordana says, you unpack that and you put that aside and you go straight to the red carpet and then you go right into the woman from West Side Story was not even invited, right?
She won an award.
Number 2, she did not, but her co-star won the award.
They
Who
gave
played
it
the
to
sister.
her. They gave it to her. No, it's the one that Rita Moreno played.
The sister who won. Maria did not win.
That's not what I saw. Rita Moreno was Maria.
She did not win.
Can somebody look that up?
The sister won. And she, on the red carpet, comes out and says, I'm LGBTQ, Latino, Boricua. She goes through this whole thing on the red
Yeah,
carpet.
she said that's the one that won.
And then she wins. But she didn't play Maria. She played the sister.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maria was,
I
you
believe
know, the
you.
little fluffy, tiny, beautiful.
She wasn't even invited?
6 days ago, she was not invited. Faux pas on whose ever part you can all pass the buck and not take accountability. But she was there. They invited her as Rachel
Okay.
Ziegler. She was
So she didn't win.
right. So they invited her back as a presenter, and then they had 3 hosts. They hadn't had a host in years and years and years. So
You
it had
heard
3
why
hosts.
they had 3 female hosts.
Well, I heard what
Because
they said.
It's cheaper to have 3 females than one.
That was
That's hilarious.
that was hilarious,
That was
but
hilarious.
so like deep cutting, right? They came right out and
Why
said
is that deep cutting? That's true. It is true.
it was interesting. The 3 they picked, though, don't you think?
A comedian,
All
an
comedians.
actress. No, it wasn't only one comedian? No, I don't know.
Amy Schumer, Wanda Sykes.
Schumer's the one that said it.
Although Wanda Sykes came out dressed as Will Smith in those shorts, she was looking good, Wanda Sykes.
She's hilarious.
I got to tell you, it was really good, right? But Alana thought it was really good. She really enjoyed it. I thought it was some funny, some like off color. I don't know. Now, the red carpet, I don't understand. Some of the dresses were beautiful. Some of them, I do not understand what the women wore.
Why?
Some of these red things that came from the bottom and then
I
just
loved it.
covered the
What's wrong with
necessities.
that? So? When you wear a bikini, you're covering a necessity.
But you're in a bikini, you're covering more than the necessities on the red carpet.
No.
The way they had them covered, it was, to me, was not very.
I thought it was spectacular.
You do.
I love it.
You found that sexy. Of course. I even said to.
Why do I have to find it sexy?
What did you find? Beautiful?
I found
intriguing.
I found it intriguing, colorful, majestic. I found it strength. You got to have a little strength to wear them things. I'm gonna tell you.
Red seemed to be the color of the
Color
night.
was because of the color of power. They're bringing it back.
They're
There's
bringing
nothing
it
wrong with
back.
that.
I found it interesting.
I found it fascinating.
And then they brought up the three princesses, right?
Yeah,
They
here
had
we
brought
go.
up Cinderella, the girl who plays Cinderella, the girl who plays Jasmine, and the one who was playing Ariel. Now, two of them were dressed very young, Disney-esque, very revealing, and the other one, Jasmine, was totally demure. It's very interesting, the clothing choices I find on the red carpet.
I thought it was fascinating. I thought they came out of their bag. Now remember, they wear clothing from famous designers
Yes.
that are going to be doing the new lines.
Billie Eilish one wearing a Gucci ruffle dress.
I didn't like that too much.
But apparently, I
much
asked, apparently that's her style. She doesn't like
It is.
form-fitting. She doesn't want to be
I know,
thought
but
of
she
that
looked like
way.
a sack of potatoes.
But she won for, did you see the Live and Let Die, the James Bond 60th anniversary?
That's right.
Bring tears to your eyes?
No, what brought tears to my eyes is that The Godfather just completed 50 years. I feel like a fossil again. 50 years of it being made. My goodness gracious.
What did you think of that whole segment when he came out
I thought it
with
was
Al
great.
Pacino and...
Fantastic. I love the movie buffs. I love all of that. And the dresses and the this and that. I love all of that because they're trying to raise the bar. It's been 2 years. There's some good, there's some, but not everybody can be perfect.
I was kind of hoping all the three of them would talk. The three came out for the Godfather segment. I was kind of hoping Al Pacino would say something. I was kind of hoping I would see a little interaction.
I think that they didn't have anything to say because there was a lot of bad blood when they made those movies, you know.
And then the guy he thanks after the fact, right? Who he had never thanked before. There's got to be a whole story there somewhere that I'm sure People magazine will uncover.
But you heard that there was a lot of bad blood when the Godfathers were made. Al Pacino was a late addition to the movie. And there
What
was
about
a lot
Robert De Niro?
De Niro was in, but it was the other guy, the one that played his brother that got shot in the toll booth. They shot him off, they killed him off because he was really difficult to work with during the movie. He didn't think that Pacino should have gotten it, and you know, Pacino's somebody.
It's interesting because they brought that out, right? And then apparently there's like a Godfather sequel coming out called Something 60. I saw that previewed. But what I don't understand, there's a lot of things I didn't understand last night. I almost wish there was like a TV guide synopsis going into as to why red was the color of the night, why they did throwback movies, right? They had people come up, which I thought they had the actors and actresses from previous movies like Juno, right? So Ellen Page came up, who was no longer Ellen Page. She, I believe, is Elliot Page, I think.
Well, it gets confusing to look up movies to somebody who was a male is now a female.
But that wasn't the point.
To be something else.
And then they had Pulp Fiction. I don't understand why the throwback to these movies. Were these award-winning movies and they decided
Pulp Fiction was.
to come back in? And then you watch John Travolta do Pulp Fiction many years later. It just, for me, it didn't land the right way.
Well, you know, it's a gig. It's like the gig of the night.
What
What was the gig of the night?
I don't, see, to me, it just didn't land. I didn't understand
Well, Will
it.
Smith landed that right cross.
I gotta tell you, at least it was live and in person. What happened when you were watching that?
When Rock said what he said, and I saw her face, it brought back memories in my life. Not yours, not hers, not his, my life. And I know what that feels like. that they did it at that level with millions of people watching, she squeezed into her seat because she didn't like what he said. Now, Will Smith says that when you're a somebody in the movies, you're supposed to take this. And you're supposed to
Take the high road.
take the high road, like Michelle Obama says, when they take the low road, we take the high road.
Right.
But sometimes you say something at the wrong time. And there was somebody from the Bronx that wrote in, I saw the comments, because millions of people were writing in on my phone. And they said, you know, if he was in the Bronx, he would have gotten what he got, because you don't do that in the Bronx. I'm from the Bronx. I know what he's talking about. I just don't think he should have used that joke at that time. Will Smith hitting him, I don't believe anybody should get smacked. Maybe Will Smith should have gotten up and told him not to do that, like he did when he sat down. I could have seen that. But my God, he landed it.
We were watching it, and I never watch anything intently. I'm always on my phone, I'm scrolling, I'm something, multitasking, and there's no sound. So I'm thinking.
They cut it off.
So Chuck says, we lost the feed. And then you see Will Smith's mouth going like this. I go, no, they did not cut it. This is the delay. So you got to give credit to who's ever running sound on the production side, because.
Well, they got 7-second delay, so.
But they weren't on their phone. They were not scrolling on their phones. The people running sound, they were on point because they cut it when they had to cut it. And it went on.
It's the biggest event of the year. I got to tell you something. Did you see what happened to the ratings now for the academies? They were going like this. And then after that, last night, they're going like this. So a lot of people saying it was a publicity stunt.
That's what one of our producers said.
That they don't show any other angles except that one angle. A lot of people saying that they set it up to happen. But when you see Will Smith get his award and he was crying, Linda says, oh, those are fake tears.
He's on A2?
Those are fake tears. I says, those aren't fake tears.
No.
I don't think that.
I don't like how you just came after our crew. You know? We at Amp Media, we're not on our phones. So we could have taken care of that situation.
I didn't say that.
I heard something else too.
No one was scrolling on their phones. They were.
Okay.
No one was scrolling on their phones.
Well, you're feeling a little defensive?
Yes, I'm feeling a little bit.
But can you imagine?
Been on it.
Can you imagine if they actually were scrolling on their phones, they were having a conversation or hooking up with someone on the side, and something like that happens, and you're not on point?
Yeah, hook it.
You know, I don't mean hooking up. I mean having a flirty conversation.
And media, we're here. We're professional. We're professional.
I'm going to sit back and I'm going to enjoy this moment.
I don't mean hooking up like that, but having like a flirtatious conversation.
Dawn, tell us more. Dawn, tell us more.
You need to be on point when you are running production, because you can't just assume it's going to go smoothly.
You mean you can't say things happen?
Right, you just have to be on
quick,
point. They were quick. They knew to cut those mics. They knew exactly, even with 7 seconds. They're getting very defensive in there.
Nobody was hooking up on the side.
Nobody's hooking
I don't
up on the
understand why our
side.
crew's so defensive.
First of all, I didn't say nothing. It wasn't me this time.
He's coming to defend them. I didn't say anything about you guys.
Look at him. He came out here charging.
No, you guys are on point. They're
Don't
definitely on
backpedal
point.
now. If you backpedal,
I didn't say anything about our crew. They seem to feel guilty about something. I don't know why, but that's exactly why when we do what we do here, we tell our crew, in the real world, you have to be on point. It's not, you can't ever say.
90% of the time they're on point. The other 10% they're not.
Well, Slick always says 90% is still an A.
This is what I mean. He tells me things happen.
Do you think, back to Will Smith, those tears, how he feels that he is in this protective space that God is calling? I was thinking of you when he was giving this speech, because as he talked about his calling is to go into this and be protective of his co-stars, be protective of these young girls in the business, but yet as clearly being protective as a husband is what he did as well. So much so that it touched his heart that this is his calling, and he feels like that he has to be empowered to take on all of this, to be the protective, crazy father, he says, from the Richard Williams. And he says maybe he's so much like the crazy Richard Williams. He looks up to the girls in the rafters of protector. Maybe this is exactly what Venus and Serena's father felt. Whereas people had this controversy of how he did it, maybe he was just this protective father.
I'm going to tell you, I wish that somebody had taken a punch to Rock a long time ago. I'm sorry. I seen Richard Pryor in New York City in person. And Richard was throwing an F-bomb every other sentence. I seen some of the comedians like Dice Clay. I seen all those guys. And they were all, put down and this down and that down and comedian down. But there's a line.
Yeah.
There's a line, and I'm not condoning Will Smith. I love Will Smith. I think he's the best as an actor. I got to see the special that he did talking about this, that he didn't consider himself even an actor, that somebody gave him a break and he's just being himself. Slick brought some other news that I didn't know, that Will Smith's wife had cheated on him.
Well, that's not anything.
But there's a lot of controversy
But she
in that
came out
group.
publicly to talk about her medical condition, that she has alopecia, which is a hair loss, 2018.
Okay, so did Rock know that?
Whether he did or he didn't, it's not as if she was hiding it. She's talked about it publicly. She's brought awareness to alopecia, the uncomfortableness of hair loss, of what it is.
I think she looked great.
She looks amazing, and I didn't realize.
the hair gone. First of all, G.I. Jane, I'm going to tell you something.
I didn't realize
Sexy.
she had alopecia.
Who played G.I. Jane 1 of G.I. Jane?
Demi Moore.
She looked hot, baby.
But apparently Chris Rock, back in 2016, I think I was reading, said something else about Jada Smith, because remember that? I can't believe it was this long ago when people were protesting of color, that no one was nominated of color. Everyone nominated that year was white skin.
Right.
Can you believe it was that many years ago?
But what did he say to her?
So he said something about her not being there and made a comment back
So
then.
there's bad blood.
There's bad blood.
Okay, well, that makes more sense.
Seems to me there's some bad blood on this.
And you know that Will Smith played that movie.
Did he?
Will Smith?
Muhammad Ali?
Yeah.
He was in.
Oh, he was buffed out, baby.
Really?
Watch out now. He stings like a butterfly and beat you like a bee. So he threw that right hook. I was impressed.
I know. You're thinking, did he punch him? Did he slap?
He slapped him.
You think about things that happen. And
Well,
then
if he punches me, go down. I'm
and
gonna
the
tell
whole
you,
everything.
Rock took a punch and he was like, "Whoa!" And what did he say? The best showing on television in the history of television.
He rebounded. Will Smith apologized, and he rebounded, and it was clearly
Will
an act
Smith
of the
did not
moment of
apologize
defense.
to him.
No,
he apologized to the Academy. Because the Academy was going to have him arrested. Now, they had the Puerto Rican there, and I did that. I'll be sent to Siberia. You know that, right?
I don't think so.
Viciously.
attacked him.
And why didn't this guy defend himself, The Rock? And what does that Rock guy? Has to defend himself. He should have gone like that, like a Kung Fu block.
Because maybe you don't realize this. I don't know. People are saying someone thinks that it was staged. I don't think so. Will Smith was pretty touched.
And the other thing is, what does that Rock guy look? He looks like he's a funny looking dude. He ain't a good looking dude.
He's from New York.
But then
I
on
know
the
where
other
he's from.
side,
He's from Brooklyn Heights.
you saw Coda win.
Yes.
Best actor.
We're back
best
to that
film.
again. Coda.
Coda was amazing.
I did not know what Coda
What's the name of-
stands for.
What's the name of the movie I went to see that you told me to go see?
Lost City.
Lost City?
Piece of junk. I give it 1 out of 5. It was horrible.
You heard the same thing he said.
Channing Tatum. Sandra Bullock was horrible too.
It's
Coda.
not that. The movie's bad, and she's trying to make it. Sandra Bullock, if you put her in the right setting, is the best. The best. And the guy that plays her role, he's a good actor. I saw him in Dog. Good actor. But when you have a bad script and you're trying to ad-lib and create conversation, it doesn't work.
Dune was nominated for a lot. I didn't see it. I kept thinking maybe I should embrace it. Dune was good.
Dune was.
You saw Dune?
No, A2. Yeah, Dune is good. It's on Comcast.
Oh, I saw it. Yes.
it?
Is that a good movie?
Yeah, it's a good movie.
What's
It's
it
only
about?
Part 1. It's about how this new imperial city is taking over all of resource, kind of like oil. But
never
it's
mind. I
called
don't wanna see
Spice
it.
though.
All right, I want to see it.
Because it's in the desert. So, but it's a good movie because it kind of points it to modern day.
But I think the costuming of
Yeah.
Dune and the set design was pretty spectacular.
And Zendaya was there as well. Zendaya's not for Tom Holland or
But
Spider-Man.
I can't believe West Side Story didn't get more attention. I can't believe that In the Heights didn't get more attention for musical.
But
I can't
Encanto won.
But Encanto,
how are you going to tell me Encanto won?
because it was beautiful.
as an animated film. Did you see? And they did 2 songs, I think, from Encanto. They did the Mariposa song, and they did the Where's Bruno, or Who Likes Bruno song.
It sounds to me that they're looking for stuff that people can sort of relate to nicely. But what was wrong with the Heights?
I didn't even see the Heights nominated, was it?
They weren't even mentioned. It was like Heights guy.
I didn't even see that.
I don't understand. My brothers and sisters are not represented.
I don't know. Let's take a commercial
No,
break.
I want to protest.
You want to keep going?
I want to protest.
888-565-1470. Give us a call. Let us know how your weekend was. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Merch Madness, brought to you by the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Visit brooklyncafe.tv/shop to purchase our latest arrivals and get 10% off any of our items.
Planning for the future should not be painful and needs to be discussed. From health, family, finances, allow qualified professionals to aid in your planning. Luhu Advisors have been serving South Florida for over 30 years. A licensed real estate broker, insurance agent, assisted living administrator, and certified senior advisor, Paul Solomon is the most qualified and well-rounded advisor for any task. Specializing in real estate, long-term care, life insurance and annuities, social securities, government benefits, and senior housing. Luhu Advisors. Let us help you.
Have you been injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or through the negligence of another? The lawyers at Shane M. Farnsworth, PA have over 40 years of combined experience representing injured individuals and their families. Call us today at 561-272-8337 for a free case evaluation and the answers to your legal questions. Were you injured in an accident that wasn't your fault? Don't let the insurance companies take advantage of you. Contact us now to learn about your options and to protect your rights.
Welcome to Mini Donut World, where the donuts are hot, fresh, and delicious, made to order and customizable by you. Gourmet specialty flavors such as apple pie, French toast, campfire, and strawberry cheesecake are always popular. Looking to tailor your appetite? Build your own mini donuts. Choose from over 18 flavored donut bases, add on your icing flavor, and choose from over 15 toppings and drizzles. While kids enjoy our design your own kits to take home, our 21 and over customers love our alcohol-infused donuts. Come visit Mini Donut World at 8763 Sterling Road in Cooper City. Have questions or want to place an order? Give us a call at 954-369-2301. We know you will love each bite of our deliciously distinctive mini donuts.
Cool, calm, collected. Needing a drink to end a long day, or maybe to start your vacation right? Gubba Rum is here to let you kick back and do just that. Inspired by a technique that dates back to the 1800s, these artisanal, organic, and naturally infused rums are made from pure cane and the finest fruits, spices, and herbs the world has to offer. Gubba Silver is infused with naturally shredded coconut, and Gubba Gold is infused with real vanilla bean. Simply shake and enjoy. Visit gubbarum.com to find the nearest location to buy or enjoy. All establishments have personally reviewed and enjoyed firsthand the wicked smoothness of Gubba Rum. 35% ABV and 70 proof. Gubba Rum, it's wicked smooth.
Being a successful woman in business means having the courage to own who you are. We understand the challenges faced by women, and we are here to help. Our team is here to develop the best strategy designed just for you. Your path is unique, and with the right tools, you can accomplish your dream. From radio to TV, from podcasting to magazines, we create the visibility to amplify your impact in business. At New Dawn Media, we are here to help bring your message forward and help your business flourish. It is time for your message to be seen and your voice to be heard. Contact us at 866-224-5422 or brooklyncafe.tv. Your voice can make a difference.
Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
Oh, boy, I tell you. It's
Although
funny.
I think it was nice to get back to doing things that people are doing. Get back to some normalcy of what it is.
Well, normalcy seems to have a price to it. You see, the Oscars are punching people up.
This weekend coming up is the Grammys. Are the Grammys?
Are
is
the
the
Grammys.
Grammys? Yes,
Are the
are.
Grammys,
I'm asking you for grammatical advice.
Yeah. Grammys. Just say Grammys.
This weekend is the
Not
Grammys.
Is or R's or
yes,
whatever.
absolutely. See what's winning for music, and I think we've got some songs that we're going to start producing out on CD Baby, so that's pretty exciting.
Yes, we're dropping our first one today, Me Hace Llorar, which is formerly Taco Taco Margo. And we're putting that together to formally shoot it out on CD Baby.
It's exciting. I was reaching out to some new people today. You know, the car business has just, you still can't get cars. You can't get used cars. You can't get new cars. The car business is still really, really hard. Auto brokers, really tough right now because the dealers aren't releasing the cars at a reasonable rate to the auto brokers. It's interesting.
Well, a lot of the cars don't have the microchip because
So they're trying
there's
to
no
hold on.
chips.
You should hold on to your car.
I've been calling Mercedes to see if I can keep my car, and they want like a big amount of money up front. I don't got that. So I'll be on a bike soon.
No, you can get a lease car. It's my kids got a letter, like I did last year, that they would take me out of my lease early because they needed to then sell the cars, is what it is. So you could probably go into Mercedes, they would take your car, and then they would get you into another leased one. It's just the car sales because people like to buy cars and hold on to them.
Yeah, I only want a lease.
So I'm sure getting a lease you would be
I'll
fine.
probably get a used lease. All right, I'll go down there and talk to them.
You can definitely do off lease. So a lot of things are still changing up in the air. I saw 2 Holocaust survivors were taken out of Ukraine to safety. One is still in Ukraine, one is taken to Poland. He's going to be joining his family in Israel. And just like we talked about yesterday, they see it again.
Listen, this thing in the Ukraine just took another turn where the president said that Putin shouldn't be, a man like that shouldn't be running that country.
Yeah.
And everybody's taking and twisting this thing in 100 different ways, calling it a threat and what have you. No, I can't threaten a man who not only did what he did in the Ukraine, he also did it in Afghanistan and he did it in Syria. So now there's a guy in the United States that is walking around who was in Syria, and they have the unmasked graves. Thousands of people were buried by truck thrown into these graves. Wow. And they got satellite photos, and what they did was they put salt all over the site. And this guy is walking around now, and he's on CBS, he was on NBC, he's gonna be everywhere, talking about the atrocities. And, you know, what do you do?
What man can do to mankind is so horrific.
I mean, you know, what do you do to a guy who was as bad as Mussolini and Hitler put together? You say to him, no, I can't threaten you, I can't say you shouldn't be in power because you got a nuclear bomb? Really?
I don't understand. But on the other side, I did not realize, you don't even know who Mila Kunis is, right?
No.
But Mila Kunis is Ukrainian. And she and Ashton Kutcher have raised tens of thousands of dollars to go back to help Ukraine and humanitarian efforts. She lived in Ukraine until she was 7.
But it's so sad to see these
You
people.
remember the show, that 70s show?
Yeah.
She was the star of that.
Oh, I saw that last night.
Yep.
They had that episode of her on there.
But she's Ukrainian.
I didn't know.
I did not know that. I'm thinking, was like a Snoops thing that someone was saying this morning, but I actually looked it up, and she was born in the Ukraine until she was 7 years old.
A lot of different things going on right now. A lot of emotional things going on right now.
Kenny Love on Friday, we didn't even get a chance to talk to this gentleman because he was so upset, obviously, about what's going on. On the Florida Love Show, he brought in a guest. We didn't even know the gentleman was coming. He played the piano for Sharon, but he is from the Ukraine. There is a church where most of the parishioners are from the Ukraine, and just talking about what's going on and bringing their plight forward.
There was a couple, and Linda thought that they were from the Ukraine, but they were talking Spanish when I went on one of the stores over the weekend. And people are very testy right now.
People are very testy.
Oh my
on high
God, they were
alert, yep.
walking really slow because they didn't have enough money to buy everything they needed. So they were deciding what to buy in Spanish. So I went to the cash out and there was nobody there. And there was this one guy running around like a maniac. He was ready to shoot everybody, I think. I mean, it got really hostile.
Why?
At Walmart. Because there was nobody there and she went to get change. And she says, I'll be right back, I gotta get change. There was only one person there. And they finally got the manager there after 15 minutes. And this guy was starting all sorts of trouble with everybody. And everybody was telling him, calm down. They didn't tell me to calm down.
The guy that was Hispanic?
No, this other dude.
Oh.
But the Hispanic people sort of shied away because, you know, you go into a store, you don't have a lot of money. And you gotta decide, do I get toothpaste or do I get something to eat? And it's tough. I'm gonna tell you, it's tough. And this guy was acting like a crazy person. It's going on all over the place.
It's every time you go to Walmart.
It's every time I go get gas.
It's every time you go
to
shopping.
Walmart. I go outside and people are just nuts.
I have decided I still don't really go into stores. I was thinking the other day, though, I think about you a lot. It's the craziest thing. I went in to buy a few things without a cart. And I thought, how many things can I hold in my hand without a cart? I don't know. Now I just do it more and more often.
There's something really wrong with you.
100%. I think it's to save on what I spend. Because
No,
if you
it's
take
not.
a cart, I am the perfect marketer's dream. You know when you check out the things you do not need? I buy them. The magazines, the mints, the things they're short on. When I do Instacart, I kind of stock up when I go into the store.
Yeah, but don't buy junk. Decide you're going to be... Listen, when you're kicking toilet paper, 24 rolls down the aisle because you don't have any more hands, there's something wrong with that.
I got to tell you, the price of food has totally gone up. For dinner, for
Publix
the
is
kids, for
nuts.
5 of us yesterday,
Nuts.
lunch,
AARP. Joey, you get percentages.
I got
off.
3 paper bags of groceries yesterday. You saw I brought one in, right, because I used the paper bag. $205. No meat. No chicken, no steak, no meat.
Meat, you go to Winn-Dixie. Canned goods, you go to Albies.
No dinners even.
Listen to me. You want to
Albies?
do it the Freddie way or you want to do it your way? You go to Albies.
My
You
way.
go to Albies. You go to Winn-Dixie for meats and chicken. You go to the one that Frankie lives.
Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's. You do that and you would save $100 every time you go
We
shopping.
should actually talk about that in the next hour. We should go do a segment and go grocery shopping. All right, we're going to wrap up our brunch hour. Everyone, have a great Monday. Tune in because we are still streaming on the other side of this hour. If you are not still joining us, we will see you Wednesday back on our brunch hour. Have a great day, everyone. Be happy. Smile. See you later.
Maybe see you a little bit.
Bye-bye.
Well, that wraps up our brunch hour. But don't go away. Stay tuned for more laughs and cheers on Facebook or YouTube or any other social media platform at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. See you soon.
Good morning, South Florida, and welcome to the breakfast at the Brooklyn Cafe TV.
Take a deep breath and a good whiff of that coffee brewing. Grab yourself some toast, a donut, or any breakfast. As Dawn and Freddie get you up and ready for the rest of your day.
So I grabbed myself and called 888-994-4995 to share a tip of the day.
Or just to say good morning.
So get ready for the time of your life.
Shake off your sleepies, buckle up, because it's showtime.
Welcome back. So there you have Me Hace Llorar, which is the name we changed now on that song.
What does that mean?
You made me cry. And formerly known as Taco Taco, which they put that name together because it had to be done real quick and nobody thought about it. So You Make Me Cry is that particular song that you just heard before, and that is being dropped on CD Baby because we want to see how that whole thing works. And I gotta tell you, it ain't easy. It is complication at the capital C.
It's a great song. So song is by Margot. So that's going to be coming out on CD Baby. Did you see Billie Eilish? She's 20 years old. She and her brother won the award last night for the James Bond song.
Billie Eilish is 20?
20.
Really?
She and her brother, they won for the song.
What's her brother's name? Billie Eilish?
I think it's like Phineas or something. Is what I think it is. The James Bond song.
Which one?
The sound. I'm not really good with lyrics, so forgive me. Time to Die. No Time to Die.
That's the latest movie?
Yep.
That was a good song.
They did a 60-year look back at all the Bonds. Did you see that last night?
Do they know what they're going to do with Bond now? They're going to make it a female? Male?
I was only hoping they were going to release and let the cat out of the bag that he lived. And
no, he didn't live.
Coming back.
He's not coming back.
As a male. I don't know. That's what I was kind of hoping to see.
He said he's done.
I was kind of hoping to see him come back.
He broke an ankle, broke his leg, broke a collarbone doing that movie. He says he's done.
Could be another one. And yesterday morning I was seeing Buster Keaton. Remember Buster Keaton?
No.
From the silent movies. When I went to school and learned communications.
Silent movies?
The first thing you go through the history, I bet our crew knows if they studied communications in school. The silent movies, the talkies, they teach about Charlie Chaplin, Buster Keaton as this great actor. Black and white movies, has it started back in the 20s. And what he did, you've seen his stunts. He's standing still and then the house falls and he's still standing there and he doesn't flinch. They've recreated this over and over again.
Why?
Because he was always straight face. Even if something's funny, he was always straight face.
Were you a big fan of Charlie Chaplin?
No, but it was way before my time. But if you look back to the quality of talkies, of movies coming out and what it was like, it was black and white, it was fast paced. You had to, if they're not talking movies, right, everything had to be done in the action sequence. You had to convey your point without words.
Well, they put the skit up so you could read it afterwards.
So you had to convey your point with actions, with eyes, with facial gestures.
That would just drive me crazy. I don't even like to see subtitles on a movie.
Yeah, weren't you talking to someone about that the other day? Oh, Steve-O, he came in. He said the first 10 minutes were subtitles.
And he's wrong. It isn't the first 10 minutes. It just seems like 10 minutes because he has to read. It was only like 4 minutes.
Although I was hoping in West Side Story that there had been subtitles in Spanish.
No, he did it on purpose. He says he didn't do that.
And
you had to figure it out.
So trying to figure that out. So
I
it
hate
was interesting.
subtitles. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And I hate when they take a Japanese movie and put it in English or an English movie into Japanese, like Godzilla and stuff. Because you can tell the guy's talking in Japanese and they translate it to English.
But the awards last night on my TV must have been my carrier. It was off. The voice and the sound, the mouth and the sound were off a fraction of a second.
1.8 seconds. Because they streamed it. They tried a cheaper way of doing it.
You saw it too?
Yeah, but that's normal. It's like when they come in here, the group that was in here, by the way, the group we had on Friday.
The numbers were spectacular.
The numbers spectacular. But what a group. They were looking at the TV monitors, And they're saying, I sang, and now I see me singing. I says, don't look at the monitors. He says, oh, you look at the monitors.
Yeah, but when it goes out, when people are watching us,
look, 1 second.
Our audio and our video are matching. This is not matching here.
1.8 seconds.
But on the show last night,
same difference.
It was not matching.
Yes, because sound is faster than film.
Anyway, that was a whole another interesting situation. I got to tell you that too.
Did you hear? Sound is faster than film.
Sound is faster than film. Yes. So that was something else.
It just makes me laugh.
Why?
And because sometimes the bandwidth is really, really slow, and you go like this, and it doesn't, and now it goes like 3 or 4 seconds. I know people that have 10-second delays.
Oh my gosh, that happened to Amy. She was doing her show in Studio B, and apparently she would freeze when she'd come back to, and Rosie was trying to catch up to her, and then it would stop, and again it would be delayed.
That's on her end.
And right, exactly. That was on the streaming side of it.
You can't stop it if it's on the other side.
I was on the other side. So I want to do a segment. I want to take our crew out with a grocery list. And we're going to go, because right now food is so expensive. Gas is so expensive. I did see Fort Lauderdale, it was $4.59. Deerfield was $4.05. Fort Lauderdale off of I-95 was that much more than Deerfield, which...
But that's cheap. You know how much gas is in California? $7.89.
So I want to do a grocery list of like canned beans and vegetables, whatever it is on the list. We're going to go to 3 different locations and let's buy it and let's see where we end up.
Why? I could tell you what the highest prices are.
But you saying it, we should actually map it out and see. So do you go to 3 different stores to shop? You do? So that takes you...
So what?
How much gas does that take you?
No, because they're very close to one another.
Really?
Yeah.
So you buy canned goods at one?
I go to the meats and chicken. Then I go to canned goods. Then I go to Publix. Publix is the last one if I have to. I don't even want to go to Publix.
Really?
I go to the one that Frankie works at.
Trader Joe's?
Trader Joe's before I go to Publix. I only go to Publix if I have to.
Wow.
You know how expensive Publix is?
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Very expensive. But Walmart is the cheapest. And people says, you shop at Walmart? I says, right, baby. And I bring out my AARP card and I shop cheap.
I used to go to Walmart and go grocery shopping. It took so many hours.
No more. Now they have different lines.
I was like, you know what? I can't. I would go home and I would be like, because it just took me 3 hours to go grocery shopping.
Why?
Because I couldn't. By the time you walk up and down every aisle, because you never know where anything is, and then you go to check out, and Walmart's not near where I live, so it was like 20 minutes there, 20 minutes back, an hour and a half shopping. And
you give me a list of what you want at Walmart, and Freddie's like a machine. He goes right to it. Ding, 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 ding. Yesterday, I had to go to the other side because we needed shampoo and some other things on this side, and then you got the store on this side.
Do you remember, and here's a perfect example of my ADD. We were moving into this new studio. We were on location up at Ramona's.
Right.
We left the shoot, and I stopped at Walmart to get some things to open up this studio.
Yeah.
I called you 2.5 hours later,
I remember
and
that.
I showed you my cart, and you said to me, you went for one thing. What happened?
Light bulbs.
I went for light bulbs and a broom. You see the broom?
But what the hell? She brought a Chinese broom. It's about this big.
Yep. And you see,
you are not a good shopper.
But I am the best for the stores because I spend so much money on buying the things that I don't really need.
I don't know why Chuck doesn't tell you, stay home, let me do the shopping. I would. Because you see, at least with Linda, she looks for deals. Like, you know Propel?
Yes.
You know 24 Propels will cost you $20.
Okay.
They have the powder mix now, where you mix 10 of those. It gives you 2 Propel bottles in one powder mix.
Yes.
$3. So I bought 2 for $6. I saved myself $14.
They did that with Gatorade too. By necessity, they had stopped producing Gatorade in the bottles for whatever reason. Same type of thing. But it's why I don't even go to the malls anymore. He did get smart. For my birthday, he gave me a gift certificate to go online shopping.
Which is good.
Which is good.
But you have to understand, if you're going to Walmart, first of all, let me tell you, they have the chicken packs. They got a pack like this for $10. Lasts you all week, if you're into chicken. If not, you got to go to Winn-Dixie. They got steaks, they got everything. Or Costco. Watch out now. You go to Costco, you're going to buy supply.
Well,
but it'll last you for the week.
That's what happened. When my kids were little, I would go to Publix and I would shop. And then I would go to Costco and shop. The amount of money I spent was double what I needed because I started to hoard things. So I let go of my Costco card because you know what happens. I go up and down every aisle and I think, oh, that'll be nice for Christmas. Let me put it away. That'll be nice for something else. Let me put it away. And I walk away with things I do not need.
You write what you need.
But something could be so intriguing that you say,
no.
Let me buy a book.
No.
You don't.
No.
You can really stay. I have to ask our crew. Alana, when you go shopping, do you buy what's on your list or do you actually go up and down the aisles and just buy things that are intriguing?
Groceries or non-groceries?
Groceries.
It doesn't matter. You're going in for groceries.
I get all my items on my list, and if something jumps out at me.
So if something jumps out at you, you buy it?
If I walked into, say, Publix and there was buy one, get one free on an item, then possibly.
What about Costco or BJ's?
Then I'm a little more particular. I'm pretty good with if I have a list and it's a set list, I'm pretty good at staying to that list. Unless you bring me into Target. That's a different story.
See?
That's why I started with grocery or not grocery.
So for Target, I tried to be really good on that yesterday. I ordered it online, and I was going to drive by and pick it up because that happens to me.
Right. Well, they have those special parking spots now. You could just drive up. They even bring it out to your car.
So I did that. And the two things that I needed for this morning, they were out of. So now I still need to go.
You got to stay out of Target.
So they're going to ship it to me. So I'm really trying still to stay out of Target. But now I'm like, I need a concealer. I should really go in.
You could buy concealer on Amazon.
Do you know how expensive? So the kids have my guest room. I guess I got a new comforter. And every time Aaron comes down, he tells me, Mom, it's really staticky. The sheets are staticky. So I get in the bed. I go, I'm fine. I'm not staticky. He goes, you don't have hair all over your body like I do. Static. I wash the comforters 3 times.
That isn't going to do anything.
Static. Sheets, static. So I go to buy the static spray.
A spray?
It says it's like anti-static. I don't know what else to do. Every time he sleeps in the bed, he says his hair sticks up.
Sabrina says get a humidifier. I would say stick a dryer sheet or two in the foot of the bed.
It's him. It's not the sheet.
It's
Get a
him?
new sheet. Yes. Some people have that cosmetic energy.
It's the weirdest thing. So I go on Amazon, $23 for a bottle of static spray. Target, hence why I go to Target, $3.36.
There you go.
Did it work?
I don't know. I got to go pick it up because I'm trying not to go to Target. I got to go do the drive-thru. He told me this yesterday. I thought, oh, I'm so good. I washed everything. I steamed it anti-static in the washer 3 times.
It's his body creating the static. Wash him in the dryer. Put a dryer pad on him.
He's staticky.
Tell him to scrub himself with a
Want to know one of the best tips I learned when away at school? So, here in South Florida, we have wonderful hot weather. It was beautiful weather this past weekend, but when I was living in Tallahassee at FSU, when it got really cold, my hair would get super, super staticky during the winter. And my friend said, oh, you have to take a dryer sheet and push it through your hairbrush. And then take your hairbrush and brush out your hair with the dryer sheet.
Did that
and
work?
It got rid of all the static. It was so weird, but it worked. So that's my secret static hair tip.
So maybe
Tell him to take his towel and rub the sheet and then dry himself with that.
Tell him to dry himself with a dryer sheet before he gets into bed.
Not a dryer sheet, the towel.
The towel.
Rub the towel.
Isn't that the craziest thing?
I've never heard of anything like that in my life.
So that's why I need to go to Target and do the drive-through. But
Can I go to Target if you're saving money? Target has this thing. You go in there, you come out with $3,000. He says, I went in for light bulb.
Well, they have the great little section in the front where it's only,
$1.
anywhere from $1 to $5 items that are always really cute or in season. Easter's already coming out, all the spring things.
What about when you go to the $1.25 store? You go to Dollar and you buy something that's junk, but you need it. And then you run out of it because it's this big.
It's not junk.
Well, it's this big. Like if you buy milk in these little things that they have for $1, you think I want to go back and forth to a store?
Well, no, you could buy a bigger one for $4.
Right.
I did that. I got the
store.
2%. All of a sudden, we're in coconut milk now because apparently almond milk creates inflammation. Only been saying that for 6 years.
You could get all kinds of milk today.
No, you can't.
That's crazy.
You can't. You can get if you
Coconut
can
milk is
find
hard
it.
to
Yes,
find,
if you
yeah.
can find it. So I got the unsweetened. I got the sweetened. They got the sweetened. They got the unsweetened. So because you try for the first time, she didn't like it. She didn't, I don't like the way this one. Too bad. You're gonna drink it because I bought 2 gallons.
So you found coconut milk?
Yeah.
I'm having a hard time finding it at Publix.
I don't go to Publix.
Do you like coconut water?
Huh?
Do you like coconut water?
No.
No.
Coco Rico, I like coconut soda, but I
When,
can't drink it.
There was a TikTok trend during COVID time where people were talking about nature's cereal, where people were, instead of having cereal and milk, all the sugars, they were taking fresh fruit and then putting coconut water in it.
Yes, I saw that.
And they were calling it nature's cereal.
Have
But
you
don't
seen-
you like coconut milk, but not coconut water.
I like coconut milk, not coconut water. I like Coco Rico, which is coconut soda. It's a green bottle with a yellow label, and it's soda, coconut soda. It's delicious.
Is it American made or is it from another?
I only know it from New York, but they have it down here now. You seen it down here? I seen it down here.
I think it's filled with sugar, though.
Yeah, I can't drink it. I can't drink nothing. I can't drink. I had a diet soda when I went to the movies. First diet soda I've had in months. It didn't go down too good.
See, your body gets used to things, and it totally changes. Did you see Tick, Tick, Boom?
Yes, I did watch Tick, Tick, Boom with Andrew Garfield.
Did you like it? That was nominated, kind of, I think, for a few things.
I don't believe it won anything, but I know he was. I'm a
anything.
big fan of Andrew Garfield. He also was a previous Spider-Man, but I think Tick, Tick, Boom was super interesting because I do not know much about the story behind. It follows the story of, and I forget now his name on the spot. It's the gentleman who wrote and created the musical Rent. But it wasn't about Rent. The story was about him being a writer for musicals and followed his story. But they incorporated music and thought process, and I thought it was interesting. I liked it. It's a movie you would have to pay attention to watch. Mom was cooking dinner as she was watching it, so she was half paying attention and didn't care for it, but I don't think I would have to see it again. I would watch Coda again. I will rant forever about Coda. I thought that was excellent.
How far do they go back with the movies nominated? Is it only last year? They stopped in January, or
It's
did they do some
it's
this
within
year?
the past year. So when
So
the
not
last
this
Oscars
year?
were. Yep. So now from now on to the next Oscars is when the next.
January to forward for next Oscars?
Well, I mean, like, it's March right now, so I'm not sure what declared, if it's from Oscar to Oscar, if it's from January to.
Because I didn't see any movies this year nominated, right?
I think it was for last year.
So it's all for last
It
year.
was interesting. The red carpet, did you see anything you liked, didn't like?
I think you're going to see a variety. There was some super conservative dresses. There were some super exposed as far as the girls' outfits. And my mom and I go back and forth too as we watch because I have my own style of what I would wear, but I'm in a position where I feel like if that is how, if a woman feels beautiful or empowered or inspired, then all the more reason for her to feel confident in the spotlight. As long as it's not, as long as it's TV appropriate, then all the power to them.
Yeah, I just didn't understand. It's not that the skin showed, it's just where the skin was showing.
I think there's a
That's
lot
what
of.
I just found
What
interesting.
do you mean where the skin was showing?
Well, and I get this too. Like slits, instead of being like a high slit, you're seeing slits now like all the way up the bodice of showing more of like your midriff area.
But what's wrong with that?
Or
They've
like
been doing
a
that forever.
super plunge. We were seeing lots of like plunge necklines, like instead of just like a deep V, even like a U, where it's pretty much just covering the nipple and showing your whole chest. But
yeah, I found that interesting because it wasn't like from here down, it was from here up.
Yes.
And I thought that was
That's kind of cool. Listen, the belly button piercing is everywhere. Everywhere.
Is that still a thing?
I don't think that's a thing
It
anymore.
is a thing.
Where did you see that?
I saw it, and what they did was they bring the dress up this way and they show the belly button. Why in the world would you want to show your belly button?
What I found really interesting from the production side of what we do, and I was thinking of you guys, is Vanessa Hudgens, there she is on the red carpet. And all these stars are coming forward, right? I'm thinking, has she been that prepped? Does she know every star that's going to come? Or does she have an amazing producer in her ear saying,
Her ear.
all right, at 1 o'clock, there's Nicole Kidman, and she's
course.
dating and all of that, and ask her this and ask her that. That to me was fascinating.
It's here.
They're telling her, right?
Of course.
That's incredible, though.
I think you are prepped to a degree, though. I would imagine if Vanessa Hudgens knew that she was going to be in that position, that she would maybe want to look at a lineup sheet of who all was coming, or to know who would be arriving with who, and then you're going to have someone to help you out of like, okay, so
That's how they do it. And it isn't us someone. They have a whole truck full of people there, and they each take turns feeding her lines. What's amazing is how she can hold a conversation as they're talking in her ear.
I just thought that was so spectacular because everyone to her is like an icon. You're meeting Nicole Kidman, who's dating Keith Urban, but if you're not up to date to know they're a couple or they were in a show together, and then everyone else who was not being interviewed, the couple, the celebrity, they were so gracious. Like Keith Urban just stood there with Nicole Kidman, and he is famous in his own right, spectacular singer-songwriter. He didn't say anything.
But remember, they do this 24/7
I know,
every
but
day.
it's amazing to me.
It's their job.
How they do it, and they
But
act.
that's what they're in California. Is the way they do
And
it.
how they do it, and with pure grace, and she didn't miss a beat.
I thought that the Super Bowl in California was outstanding because what they did was they did it LA style, and they brought in all the cameras, and they brought in. It was like a giant movie that they did for the Super Bowl. I thought it was fantastic. Listen, LA there's no place in the world like LA.
Now here's the conversation that we're having here. Beyonce in the Compton Tennis Center, you think is green screen.
It's not.
And
It's a box. I can show you it.
I can show you posts of mutual friends I have with performers who were there
I'm
and
not
took
saying
all the
that they
behind the
weren't
scenes
outside the
photos.
box, but I'm going to tell you the song that she did was done in the box. I saw them filming.
You're talking about the audio, correct?
I'm talking about the video and the audio was done in the green box. Did they take pictures from Compton? Of course they did.
You don't. But
They
I
were
thought they were
physically
in the
there.
tennis center physically.
They were physically there.
Yeah.
They were there.
They
They
were
filmed
there.
it
They
there.
they filmed it there, but they built the confine to do the
Oh,
sequence
they
in the
probably
green box.
enclosed it into the tennis center so they could
They
get
have
the
a
audio
green
and
box. You
everything.
can see it above and beyond.
Interesting.
And then they use B-roll on the outside of Compton. You know, Compton isn't the most attractive place in the world.
I tell you, the Beyonce, that woman never looks the same. She is flawless. Beautiful.
She's a queen, Queen
She
bee.
she's totally Queen Bee, right?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely flawless.
Did you like the song she made? It got an Academy, I think.
It did not win.
I don't think it won.
Got nominated?
Billie
was
Eilish
nominated.
won. Encanto won. Which one won?
So Encanto,
Did it-
Encanto actually won Best Animated
Animation.
Film. The music, Dos Oreguitas, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, was nominated for song, original song, as was the Alive song from Beyonce, but the one that won it for Best Original Soundtrack was the Billie Eilish song from 007.
Can you imagine being 20 years old and it just...
She's
and
the
you-
same age as Sabrina.
And you have all of this notoriety, celebrity.
I was just saying to them, how fantastic is it for their parents to be sitting and watching? Because not only is it Billie Eilish, but the person who's doing the producing and is behind the creation and who is playing piano next to her is her brother.
I love
So
that.
you're not even talking about the success of one child, but you've watched both of them together, like, be super supportive and, like, shine on their own, but to be able to do that with, like, brother-sister relationship is really cool to watch, too.
It was really cool because you feel like here you are. My kid is, before she was 20, right? She started this under...
Oh, as a teenager.
As a teenager. But her brother was there like as her protector and watching her and
Oh, yeah.
going with her and doing
They're
all
a
of
dynamic
this.
duo for sure.
Amazing. Are you ready to take a commercial break?
Absolutely.
While he's looking something up, give us a call, 888-994-4995, Studio A. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Artist Rosie Sherman paints her passions to share with everyone. Expressing herself through bold and vibrant colors, her suggestion and style are always in flux. Inspired by travels, nature, romance, and the human spirit, Rosie makes sure her depiction of women are strong and proud. Her landscapes illustrate the changing seasons in the diverse world that we live in. To find her artwork in the multiple medias you can purchase, visit rosiesherman.pixels.com.
Once a professional musician, artist Steven Zwirn uses his creativity through multimedia artistic expression. His compositions use acrylic paint to create 3D masterpieces. Stephen's fascination with brilliant colors and intriguing patterns with jewels and rhinestones entices the eye with color and dimension. For more information on the artwork of Stephen Zwirn, contact Stephen at 914-656-9060 or StephenZwirn.com.
Welcome to Sunshine Senior Solutions, a trusted medical supply company that puts patients first, offering quality home medical equipment and supplies. Sunshine Senior Solutions is here to help simplify the lives of patients, caregivers, and their families. From canes and crutches to diabetic glucose monitors, your health, safety, and comfort is our #1 priority. Call or visit our website, Sunshine Senior Solutions, bringing the heart back to healthcare.
Welcome to AMP2 TV, the first and only internet production company that's truly plugged in. When you're looking for a full-service internet radio, TV production company, discover AMP2 TV. AMP2 TV is a full-service media company that can provide all streaming videos, video studios, radio studios, and television studios. Call us today at 866-224-5422, for no business is too small to grow to be accounted. It's time for your message to be seen. Let AMP2 TV help get you there.
Welcome to Lost Harbor Spirits, a world where pirates inspire our spirits, treasures remain undiscovered, and flavors are infused with the essence of mysterious voyages. The distillery became one of the few women-owned craft spirits production sites in the U.S. From our award-winning spirits of vodka and rum to delicious gin, we're always coming up with some new and exciting flavors to keep your cocktails delicious and fresh. Proudly distilling out of West Palm Beach, Florida, Lost Harbor Spirits is a true treasure waiting to be discovered. Contact Palm Beach Distillery at lostharborspirits.com to take a tour or purchase your favorite spirit at your local liquor store.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
You know, you would think that I go to the movies every weekend.
Yes, you do.
And I miss the good movies. I never saw King Richard.
You can get it on streaming at home.
I know, but I don't have Max. I have to see what Netflix has. But I don't know why I didn't see that. I wanted to see it. You know, I saw Dog, not The Dog. I saw Dog, which is a sleeper for me, but everybody loves it. And the last one I just saw was a piece of junk. Death on the Nile, long, and did I say long?
Movies have gotten longer for sure.
And I wasn't enthused by that. No Time to Die, I loved the ending of the movie.
See, I did not. I don't think you and I could ever go to a movie together. We did go to West Side Story because what you like in a movie, not my thing. I'm into the fairies and the whimsical and happily ever afters, and I did not even like the ending to West Side Story. I thought they should have changed it.
That's always been the ending.
I don't like it. I think we should do an alternative ending to West Side Story.
No, that would change the complexity of the movie.
I don't like I don't like watching a movie that is realistic in life because I can live life. I'd rather watch a movie that is fantasy, like.
But that wasn't the theme in the 60s. You don't change that. I thought that Spielberg did a marvelous job in that movie. He used the cloisters, he used the A-Train, things that I grew up in.
Did you see Lady Gaga and Liza Minnelli?
No, what happened?
At the end? At the end, it must have been asleep. It was late. It was like 11:15, 11:30.
What movie was that?
Gaga comes out with Liza Minnelli to announce.
I didn't see it. I was long gone.
To announce the best movie of the year. And Liza Minnelli, it was just to watch another great icon decline. She was in a wheelchair. She was not really on point on what she needed to say.
Liza Minnelli's in a wheelchair? Oh,
and Lady Gaga was totally such a lady. You know, I know she had a bad rap when she came out years and years ago when her platform because she was so unique in her costumes and her makeup and who she was. But you talk about a lady. She came out and she guided Liza Minnelli through the entire presentation. And then she said, you know, I love being with a legend. And then she would try to sing. Maybe they were supposed to sing, so Gaga tried to guide her in that. Liza didn't pick up on that. So she did say, all right, let's open up and see who's the winner. So she opened it up and said Coda, but not the great poor. It's just really hard to watch these greats decline.
Do you think that Coda should have gotten the movie of the year? Honestly.
I didn't see the other movies, to be honest.
Tell me why.
I think the message was spectacular. I think it was a feel-good, heartfelt, coming out of a pandemic story. I don't know what else would have. Venus and Serena Williams, I think everyone knew that story, so I don't think that would have really won because it was true. It was a real life story.
It was also a very good movie.
Yeah.
I liked both of those. I saw King Richard, and I saw, right, that was the name of that one. I saw that one, and I saw Coda. Coda was a movie that when it was finally, we just put it on because we heard it was good. We didn't know much about it, and when it was finished, my entire family was just like, wow, that was a very good movie. We were all pleasantly surprised of how great it was and put together it was. It's different from anything else.
Right, it was a family, it was a feel-good movie, it pulled on your heartstrings, you saw the business side of it, you saw at the end his acceptance speech where he thanked the fishing community.
It was well done all around.
I gotta see it.
You should see it. I mean, it's definitely a feel-good movie, and you have to pay attention because there's a lot of signing, but they do interpret it. And Marlee Matlin, she's just beautiful all the way around.
Mm-hmm. And you were right. I think you said in the very beginning of the show today, too, of the double meaning behind the name Coda for being the name of the movie, because the movie does follow a child of deaf parents who, really of an entire deaf family with one hearing child, and she finds her passion for music and for singing. And so Coda is not only in music terms, but like what's defining the closing to a literacy or a music piece of an ending as like a finale, but it's also, Coda stands for child of
deaf adult.
Deaf adult. So it works as both.
I didn't realize it was the end of a musical.
Yes. So if you're watching an orchestra play, when they hit the coda, that is what the change in the music is to be the finale, the ending, or the summary of what closes something up.
That's interesting.
Yes.
It was just amazing. And at the end of it, I mean, it's a father-daughter relationship, it's a mother-daughter, it's parents, it's family, it's bullying, it's acceptance, it's music, it's bringing the deaf and the hearing world together as one, and what it's like. Because when you are deaf and you're trying to function in the hearing world, if someone was sitting here, they would have no idea what we were saying. Right. And you can be in a theater and you can be in a movie, you can have, to them, they hear nothing. And all it is like a silent movie. All you can see is the actions of what it is. So without her signing, it means nothing. The vibration, them trying to hear music in a car, you would appreciate that also, because they can feel the vibration. It's fascinating.
I think it also speaks to the movie too, though, is because I think sometimes when you watch a movie, it's common for people to be cast to just act out characters, especially when it comes to disability or certain things like that, where you will have an abled person who's just acting and playing as if they are that character, whereas this truly, they were very set that they were not going to they wanted someone who was deaf to play the part. They didn't want someone to fake it. And so it's, from a movie making standpoint, it's also very raw and authentic too.
And I thought the woman who wrote the screenplay, she was just spectacular in her disco ball dress, she said.
Oh, she looked fantastic.
Right? That was amazing.
Slick was talking about that attire. He was like, did you see the disco ball dress?
I think that was the best dress, her disco ball dress. But when he came out and said, I don't know if you saw his acceptance speech, the gentleman who won from Coda, and the presenter, she goes to give him the award, and then she takes it back, realizing that he needs his hands to sign, which was really heartfelt also. And he thanks his dad, and he said his dad was the best signer ever as far as sign language. And his dad was in a bad car accident, paralyzed from the neck down, and could never sign again to communicate with his son. So you think about life before he gets this award, life as being an actor and being able to pursue what he did and what home life was, and then having this horrific accident happen to his dad, who was his communication link between the hearing and the non-hearing world. How horrific is that story?
You're making me remember now another part of his speech, too. He mentioned how fortunate he felt that because of how inspiring this movie was, that the cast of CODA was invited to the White House. And he said that he had to refrain, or was told by his wife, or someone
Marlee
yelled.
Matlin told him.
Someone yelled at him to. He wanted to teach the president. He wanted to teach Joe Biden and Jill Biden. Foul language, sign language, like dirty words.
And Marlee
But
Matlin's
he
like,
was
no,
told
you can't do
no."
that. But he called him Joe and Jill. So I met Joe and Dr. Jill, like they're on first name basis. It's totally different because, in my opinion, what we hear culturally, right, what you say, what you don't say, we take for granted of what we hear. When you're in the deaf community, if you don't have someone signing it, you don't get the nuances of what it is.
They also showed, I believe, the cast and his family and the members in the tape. They flashed from another part before that happened, where the announcers were announcing, and you know how that pans the audience to show everyone laughing or the other celebrities. You could see at their table, because I'm not sure if maybe the interpreter was too far away. It seemed that they had digital screens all in front of their places where they were sitting at their table, probably so that they could follow along and read
with closed caption.
With closed captioning, which I thought was really cool too.
It sounds like there's a lot of heartfelt emotion attached to the movie, but is the movie of the year?
Absolutely.
See, that to me, there's a big difference between a movie of the year and a well-messaged, very deep verse movie.
Well, what do you judge as movie of the year?
But this is what I'm trying to say. For me, sometimes a movie of the year is how it makes you feel, not the message it delivers.
So Rock'em Sock'em.
Not always Rock'em Sock'em, but something that's cleverly made. I remember when they first came, the 4K came out with Searching for Private Ryan.
That was crazy, yeah.
I thought that movie, because of the way they did it, was fantastic, but nobody agreed because it was too gruesome. But if you look at putting that together and the equipment and everything they had to use to do it, to me it was heartfelt. But again, if it carries such a deep message in the community, wasn't there another actress, I think that she was...
Marlee Matlin.
Yes.
Children of a Lesser God. She plays the wife.
That was a tremendous movie back in the day.
So you're going to love this, and because she plays the wife in this movie.
I didn't love it.
She was excellent too.
But I didn't love the movie. I liked the
beautiful.
movie. I thought the movie was done.
If you're asking if it won because of a sympathy of what the message was, I don't think it was. It was a very well-made movie.
I believe that the sympathy carries a whole lot of weight to it. Children of a Lesser God, when that came out, everybody was shocked. The other movie where no one spoke, the husband and wife team did a movie together, and you couldn't talk because there was animals that would come and eat you.
A Quiet Place.
A Quiet Place.
Oh, I never saw
I
that.
thought it was brilliantly made. Brilliant. But there was no words.
Oh, that was the family, right? They couldn't say anything.
I didn't see that one. I saw Bird Box, which is
Bird Box is
similar but
another
different.
good made.
I thought that was good.
But the silent one, the husband and wife, never got the popularity for the movie. How do you do a movie with no words?
John Krasinski, right?
Yep. It was tremendous.
It's interesting.
It's
The movie business is definitely an interesting business.
So you can separate the two. And there's a reason I'm bringing this up, because I want to talk about what happened with the Justice. Thomas.
All right, so let's take a commercial break. When we come back,
I want to talk about that.
everyone is just irate over it. Stay tuned. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, let us know your thoughts, and we'll be right back.
This portion of today's show is brought to you by the Brooklyn Cafe Show Coffee, made with organic Arabica beans.
With enough butter, anything is good. Tori Wells from Precious Treasure Gourmet Foods thinks so, because she single-handedly updated and expanded butter's possibilities. From compound, savory, sweet, and spicy, her freshly made butters aim to please. I don't know about you, but I've never really seen butter this versatile before, and now so feasible. With online shopping, just visit Precious Treasures Gourmet Foods.com, because at Precious Treasures, Tori is working on the best artisan gourmet foods to every table. Remember, guys, true love is like butter. There's no substitute for the real thing.
Attention Florida residents. Is constant water damage from the elements putting holes in your pipes and your wallet? We cut the cost when disaster strikes. You deserve to have your house be a home again. At Triumph, we get you paid the most for your insurance claims. Broken pipes, water damage, and mold? Triumph Consulting covers it all. Call our offices now to qualify for a free house inspection at 954-669-4935 or visit www.wegetYouPaid.com.
Born in Marseille, France, Max Lazega creates whimsical and free-flowing interpretive art. His 40 years in the construction industry created the foundation for his craft. His unique work displays his view of the future with bold and playful combinations of materials and processes, but the methodology remains consistent. He fuses recycled materials and discarded building supplies into a fresh, well-executed approach. Lazega has lived in Miami, Florida most of his life, where he pursues his lifelong passion of creating industrial art. For more information, contact Max Lazega at artworkstudios.org or 786-326-8873.
Meet Jay Harmon, one of the many artists held in the Brooklyn Cafe Gallery. Jay specializes in various different art styles, but his medium to work with is colored pencils. His unique style comes from being self-taught and years of practice. Jay pulls his inspiration from many outlets like people, television, celebrities, and many more. With multiple original pieces, Jay's art graces the gallery with over 40 plus works for viewing and for purchase. His many years of being an artist has given him a chance to partner with the Derwent brand, giving him the opportunity to try many different work styles and further his craft. Feel free to come down and visit the studio to view his work, or if you're interested in your own Jay Harmon original, he's open to commissions on his website, coloredpencilartist.com, or catch his show, The Colored Pencil Artist, on Amp Media Productions on YouTube and Facebook. See you soon.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddie S.
It all matters.
So, Clarence
Supreme Court Justice. Clarence
So
Thomas,
his wife decides during the elections, back to this January 6th debacle,
insurrection, right?
to tell her husband, the Supreme Court Justice, that he has to do everything he can to stop Biden from taking the presidency because it was a crooked election. So he has a nickname for her, and when he was being investigated by the House and the Senate, he used that nickname as well. So they know that they had talked about it. There is now text that came out and everything else. He's in the hospital for some infection. Probably had a heart attack because his wife just probably ruined his career. And they're talking about how she was pumping him with information on the conspiracy theory, and he was buying in, and he believed it. He says, we got to stop this and everything else. Okay, so now this is gone. They're sending people to jail for doing this thing. And what do you do with him? You leave him on the Supreme Court?
Well, the thing is, now as cases are going to come forward from the insurrection to come to the Supreme Court, they're asking him to potentially recuse himself from hearing those cases because of a conflict of interest. So she's sending texts over to Mark Meadows saying, don't let this happen. This didn't happen. You can't let these election results stand firm with what this is, knowing that her husband is on the Supreme Court. You talk about a conflict of interest, which takes me back to the Academy Awards, when the spouses stood, or partners, and let the person who was there to be interviewed have that moment. If your spouse is in this authority of power And on Supreme Court, you are powerful in the United States of America. Do you sit by and support them? Doesn't mean you say nothing. Or do you do totally what she did? Apparently she's an attorney. But she went totally backtracked behind the scenes, sent texts to the White House. It's not like she said to her husband, oh, honey, you need to do this. She did it herself. So is he responsible for her actions?
Yes, because
or
he
is
didn't
she
stop
responsible
her.
for? But
and
how
he agreed with her.
could you stop Linda from sending a text to somebody?
If she sent it to me, I would say, don't send me this. I would say something.
If she sent a text directly to a competitor of yours, and you didn't know she was sending it, and that text goes out,
Yeah,
do
but
you
he
have any
did
say?
know. But he did know. He not only knew, he defended her because she is the sweetheart of his life. He defended her. And he did not say a word of no. You know, you could say, this is inappropriate for you to give me this message. Look at the position I'm in. You can't send this. I mean, this is eventually going to come out.
You just can't do it. It's not supportive in the field that where he sits. As a
Right,
reigning
but
justice.
do you throw your wife under the bus, or do you stand up for what you're allegedly supposed to be?
Well,
An
if it
impartial
goes-
judge.
If it goes to hearing, you know, there is this rule as far as spouses don't have to testify against each other in the United States. But I'm not saying it's going to go to court. But it's an ethical dilemma. What do you do? Does he recuse himself? And if you recuse yourself, then that vote of where he would takes away from the numbers of the Supreme Court.
Yeah, but I could tell you he's going to go on the side of defending what happened. So I'd rather not have that on the Supreme Court because that's not justice. You can't come in with a known outcome into a hearing. So I'm going to go to a hearing and I got 6. How many? I got 6, and I already know that one is in my pocket. Yeah, you can't do that.
But you don't know he's going to go that way. Maybe he goes the other way.
Really?
Whatever assumed way you think he's going to go, maybe now after all of this, he goes the other way.
After you read what his wife sent, I don't think he's going to go the other way.
Do you agree? I can't even say that because you're not married. There are things that Chuck does that I do not agree with. And I will flat out say, I disagree with you.
Yeah, but you're not a justice.
No, but in general doesn't mean because you're married you agree with everything your spouse says.
Yeah, but he's a justice. He has people's lives in his hands.
Yes, he does.
He could send you up the river for the next 200 years. Yeah, come on, this guy is not a normal
So
dude.
you think he should be recused from cases
I think he should be thrown out of the Supreme Court. I think that if you get caught with your hand in the cookie jar like they did with Nixon, you get excommunicated.
Yeah, you're supposed to be on the Supreme Court until you die, but we see that's not going to
Well, then somebody put a, whatever.
So he's in the hospital now. See, spouses, you just got to know your lane. You got to know your lane.
This is why, and I look at the one that's going through this now, and they grilled her, and they grilled her. They should grill everybody around her is what they should do. Because you can't control your spouse and his mouth.
That's the other side of this.
You know, if his wife comes up one day and says, you know what, I did it, and this is why I did it, blah, 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 and gets diarrhea in the mouth, where's he going to hide?
You can't control
Let's get divorced. Where's he going to hide?
You can't control what your spouse says.
That's right. You cannot control what your spouse says.
And to think you can, you think you're responsible for somebody else, you can't. You say this all the time. You can only be responsible for
what
yourself.
you can control.
You don't know your kids. You don't know your spouse. You don't know what they're going to say. You don't know what they're going to do. Is it your responsibility?
Well, it's the same thing when Trump tried to go after Biden's son.
It's just wrong.
And I mean, what does that have to do with anything? You know, Freddie is a criminal, God forbid. And what am I supposed to say? He's not. Okay, so I said it. Now what? And he goes out and he's a maniac. He's a Putin. And what am I supposed to do? Defend him? I can't defend the Putin.
You know, the thing that makes me crazy, though, is we talk when we talk and people have opinions. But when your opinions become so egregious and so horrific about a person, and you're at a dinner party or you're spewing your hatred towards someone to somebody else, and it just gets out of control. I just feel like if you're not in it, if you dislike a government official so much, but yet they've never done anything to you personally, they've never done anything to your family personally, they've never done anything to the Hispanic community personally, But you are so out there and so angry that you spew this hatred. I feel like you're no better, not you, but that person is no better than the person that you're saying is like this, because you are continuing that hate and that negativity. Unless it is a personal affront against you or someone you are close to, I don't understand why people get so angry on the moment and they start spewing these hatred. I don't understand.
I'm going to give you an example. I was asked by a radio station in this country, and we'll leave it at that, to bring our show there. And I did some research, and I found out that there are a right-wing, Putin-loving station in this country.
Okay.
A right-wing, Putin-loving station. So I didn't know what Putin-loving was. They wrote it, I read it. It wasn't like I wrote this. So I listened to some of the shows, and they're talking about how Putin was led down this road for a number of reasons with political figures in this country going back 20 years. Going back 20 years. And how Putin is a product, a byproduct of what happens in this country. Okay. So the guy says, okay, you ready to bring the show? I says, I changed my mind. I'm not doing it. Not doing it.
It's not in
Then
alignment
he
with who
gives
we
me
are.
a sermon for 5 minutes.
Really?
About how things are in the USA. He says, well, you better get hip to the deal. I better what? So he's telling me all of this. And now, I could have told the guy a couple of bombs and left. I said, you done? He goes, yeah, I'm done. You ready to sign? And I said, I wouldn't sign with you if you were the last guy in the world. And he says to me, well, you're going to suffer horribly because you don't know this business. I don't know this business. I said, but I know this business. I just don't need to know this business with you. But a whole station, right-wing Putin, loving?
Of course.
How can you do that?
That's what they believe in. Freedom of speech in our Constitution. And then there's a station, I'm sure, that's all left-wing, liberal.
I wouldn't go on there either.
So somewhere in the middle, you and I sit.
Well, I would like somebody that can express both thoughts, but I would be the Antichrist at this station because I think that Putin's a madman. And I don't blame Biden for what he said. I blame him that he said it. He shouldn't have said it, Biden, but he did. So what do? We're going to condemn him and say, you shouldn't have said that. This is very détente. This is this. Nothing works against Biden. Nothing. You can threaten him. You can do anything you want. He don't care. He doesn't care.
He cares, but
he don't care.
No matter what I think a president says or someone in authority says, there's going to be someone that likes it, someone that doesn't, and someone that's going to analyze, what did he mean? Did he mean this? Did he mean that? Did he take it out of context?
Yeah, but you're looking at Putin today.
I'm not talking about Putin.
So who are you talking about? Biden.
So Biden says Putin should not be
empowered
as the head of Russia.
Yes.
He didn't say he was going to take him out. He didn't say the U.S. military was going to do anything. He didn't say this is his wish and his belief. He didn't say any of that. He said that. But everyone's going to analyze it. What did he mean?
They're going to spin it.
Only he knows what he meant.
He said it off the cuff. You ever say something off the cuff?
Do we think Putin should be in power? No.
Absolutely not, but it doesn't matter what we think.
But we also know the other side to it as what his threats are. So we all walk a fine line politically on what it is.
No, we walk a scare line. Ain't no fine line here. This is a scare line. This is a tactic that Putin did 20 years ago in Syria, whatever it was, 7 years ago.
The unmarked graves. It's horrible.
He did the same thing there. He did the same thing in Afghanistan.
Horrible, yeah.
Now his stupidity is bleeding into North Korea. So this maniac now wants to play ball. So Woodrow Wilson used to say, in order to be tough, you got to show tough. Not act tough, you got to show tough. And the problem is that Biden knows that if he says boo, everything around him will collapse. So he has to be careful what he says. But are we afraid of the Russians?
I think we're trying to protect from nuclear warfare.
Are we afraid of the Russians?
From nuclear warfare? Of the people or of Putin?
That's why the question is so open-ended.
Correct.
Because, we could take Putin on and fight him, ballistic missile to ballistic missile. We're going to win that war. Guarantee we're going to win that war. So he's going to turn nuclear.
Well, you see, Ukraine They're fighting back. But
And the
their
Ukraine
cities
now
have
is
been
taking
destroyed.
properties back, demolished lands, and pushing the Russians back because the Russians have lost the will to fight and they've lost a lot of men.
But the thing is, even Mariupol, their port city, has been destroyed. They own it, they still have it, but they're now telling everyone they have to leave. There's no clean water, there's no food, there's no power.
He has devastated the country.
He's devastated.
He's
So
brought it back 100 years.
they have it, it's under Ukrainian control, but it has been devastated. The people cannot live there. They have not had clean water or food. They have to leave. So therein lies who wins.
Nobody
And
wins
who
a war.
loses?
Nobody wins
Everybody
in a war.
loses.
Everybody loses.
Everybody loses.
Why anybody would attack another country in this day and age is I'm beside myself.
Everybody loses. The people of the Ukraine, even though they have it, what it takes them back. They've had to flee. They don't have food. They don't have water. They don't have livelihoods. They don't have money. Did you see yesterday they did a whole story on this Russian oligarch, billionaire, can't
saw that.
access his funds?
Except he's going to Turkey now. They said that if you're an oligarch and you go to Turkey, they will honor you.
It's just
So
unbelievable.
what the hell does that mean?
So if you are a millionaire, billionaire with Russian funds, that you can access your money through Turkey?
And he says, the billionaire, I saw the thing, he says, what do you want me to do? I don't know Putin. I have no communication with Putin. I can't tell him stop it. He's not going to listen to me. So they go, so you made all these billions in Russia. Yes, with the Russian people. Well, can't you talk to the Russian people? He says, you got their phone number? I was dying. Hello, Russian people. What do you want me to do?
Right, and he came from nothing. It's not like this was inherited money.
He made it.
He made the money. He's Jewish. He's Russian. He's supportive of people.
And now he says he has no money. He borrows money to have dinner, he says.
Can you even imagine?
I mean, billionaire. He has this boat that's like the size of the Empire State Boat.
You see the other side, but then you never know the propaganda of what our media is showing you either. Like, you just don't know. We don't know the truth because we're not, thank
I
God,
can tell
we're not
you, I
living
know
it.
one truth. I know that those buildings, those missiles are taking out buildings.
And people.
I see people dying. The bodies in the streets. I know that truth. I know that the Ukrainian people didn't ask for trouble. They were living their life as always. They didn't ask for this to happen. They are not part of NATO. They wanted to be part of NATO, which is what's saying. The saying is that Putin heard they wanted to be in NATO, and Putin said, "No, we ain't having none of that." Okay, that I know is the truth. Also, the president of Ukraine is very mad at the U.S. right now.
He is.
He's very mad. He says, you talk a big game, but you don't give me the freaking planes.
Where are they? Right. I know.
Are we afraid of the Russians? I heard that last night, and I'm sitting there watching a baseball game, millionaires, watching basketball game, millionaires, football players, millionaires. Kind of like our country a little bit. Are we afraid of the Russians? If one of those missiles ever attacked Florida and everything is devastated, would we have a difference of opinion? Let me tell you, sometimes you have to be careful what you say because that's as big of a punch as getting hit in the face. And I think that if Putin ever got hit in the mouth, he will go down.
Accountability. Right? Be accountable for what you say. And gosh, I think with Clarence Thomas and his wife, it's tough.
It's a problem.
It's a problem because you can't control what somebody else says, but yet it can be a huge impact
But
on
that somebody's
your life.
his wife.
That's what I'm saying.
And apparently he owes his life to her for whatever reason. Tough.
That's interesting.
Tough situation.
All right. Have a great day, everyone. Stay safe. Be kind to each other. We will see you tomorrow, 9-ish a.m. drive time. Have a great day.
Don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the morning show. As I go now to fill my mug, which is completely empty, I'm coffee out.
Your cup runneth over.
No, company dry.
Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe. Be kind to each other. Tune in for all of our other morning shows coming from Ant Media Productions, and then our afternoon show at 12 o'clock.
And always join us for more fun and laughs because, your day starts when you smile.
Have a great morning, and we'll see you in a little bit.
And don't be late.
and sleepless nights, I wait for you to bring me back to life. In my electric eyes, it doesn't mean that time can pick in every single breath. I want to unfreeze my heart and fly away. That's why I wanna save it. Your moons and craters. Open up my eyes, waterfalls of ice, sweeping me away like an avalanche. Helpless as I fall, the words can't say it all, sweeping me away like an avalanche, like an avalanche. I listen for a sound, waiting deep inside my maze of sweeping thrills and colors. Just a ray of light, bathing me in drops of ink that gleams across my body. Wish you could unfreeze my heart and we